万一被人发现。
Part of the movie, we were introduced to Su Xinyu, an instrument tuner for a rock band. He dreams of performing like the band on the grand stage one day. On the other hand is his co-worker, Qian, the band's assistant, who is often mistreated by the other band members. One day, seeing her being harassed by the band members, Xinyu gets angry and decides to get back at them. While performing a concert, he removes the bolts on band members' drums, causing chaos during the performance. After the incident, Xinyu is fired from the job, but it isn't so bad for him because he got a chance to become closer to Tianxin. Later that night, she asks him to have dinner together. During dinner, they share their dreams. Xinyu and Tianxin dream about becoming a famous singer-songwriter and artist-manager, respectively. After they finish up a stroll around town, and it's evident that the two are romantically interested in each other. As days pass by, they start dating and spending quality time together. However, after being unemployed, Xinyu wants to further his studies, so he decides to go to England. There, he will work part-time as a dishwasher to fund his studies. He meets Tianxin in a park and reveals his decision to her. The latter supports him, but is understandably sad. Xinyu then gives her a red bracelet as a sign that they are still together, even though they will soon be far apart. Following this, he asks her for something in return to help him remember his girlfriend. Tianxin thinks for a while and hands him her favorite pen, which Xinyu happily accepts. Even though the two are already committed to each other, Tianxin is worried that they will never see each other again. Xinyu comforts her and promises they will meet again in the park. 5 years have passed and Xinyu is a popular music artist. He shoots music videos and commercials every day and has lots of fans. Molly, his co-worker, frequently teases him about his good looks. She often approaches him to date her, however, Xinyu is never interested. One day he gets into an argument with his manager, Mei. It's revealed that she wants to make him a superstar and has secured a film role for him. However, an angry Xinyu says that he has no plans to enter the film industry. On the other hand, we see Tianxin, who is headed to an artist management building. Coincidentally, she has a new job at the same company that manages Xinyu's music videos. She even manages to meet him, but the meeting only reminds them of the bad memories from 3 years ago. Flashback to 3 years ago when Xinyu was still working as a dishwasher in England. He and Tianxin had an argument over the phone. He complained that he couldn't write songs anymore and didn't have enough money to live on, so he decides to quit his music studies and return back home. But instead of encouraging Xinyu, Tianxin broke up with him, reasoning that they were too far from each other and that their relationship had no future. She also felt that Xinyu's future was unclear, while she was already a busy executive by then. At first, Xinyu didn't believe that his girlfriend was breaking up with him, until she gave him another reason, that she already had a new man. This broke the poor boy's heart so much that he couldn't stop crying for days. Back to the present, Tianxin tries to initiate a conversation with Xinyu, but as expected, he completely ignores her. After this, Tianxin heads to her work, asking other employees where her desk is. However, all of them ignore as they are busy caught up in a nearby commotion. It's revealed that the commotion has actually come out of the room where Xinyu and his manager Mei have gotten into an argument once again. Xinyu is still persistent on his decision to stick with his music and not get into the film industry, while Mei raises her voice, exclaiming that she is the reason why Xinyu has been successful. During the argument, she challenges him to find a new manager who can tolerate him daily. Xinyu looks around and everyone who is there immediately looks away, hoping not to be picked by him. Left with no choice, he ends up selecting Tianxin as his new manager. After this, he takes her to a restaurant to talk. When asked why he chose her, Xinyu simply says that he wants to torture her. Later that night, Tianxin looks at the red bracelet given by Xinyu 5 years ago. Suddenly, she gets a text from him, telling her to come to his apartment the following morning at 9 a.m. The following day, Tianxin arrives at Xinyu's apartment at the said time and is welcomed at the entrance by his maid. As she steps inside, she can't help but marvel at the sheer luxury of Xinyu's living space, complete with a shelf full of his awards. Suddenly, Xinyu appears beside her playing the piano. He then cordially invites her to explore the rest of his apartment, showcasing the various speakers that he's most proud of. He takes her on a tour of his magnificent fish pond, teeming with brilliant colored fish, before leading her to a tranquil swimming pool where she can unwind and relax. Tianxin is obviously impressed, but she starts to wonder if Xinyu only called her to show off. However, he vehemently denies it and says that the reason he invited her was to let her get to know him better, now that she has become his manager in Egypt. In response, Tianxin laughs and comments that Xinyu is still the same as before. The pair then chat for a while before heading to work. Over the next few days, Tianjin is kept busy with her new role as Xinyu's manager. One of her primary responsibilities is to shape and improve his public image. She works tirelessly to enhance his reputation by crafting a compelling narrative around his music and personality. Tianjin also directs Xinyu on how to conduct himself during interviews, teaching him how to respond appropriately to questions and presenting him in the best possible light. Additionally, she accompanies him during photo and music video shoots, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. One day, during a contract signing with a famous recording studio, Xinyu suddenly realizes he has misplaced his pen. Panic sets in as he frantically searches for it. A colleague offers him a spare pen, but Xinyu declines it, clearly uneasy about using a pen that is not his own. In a state of anxiety, he reaches out to Tianjin for help, and she quickly ushers him backstage to avoid the prying eyes of the reporters. There, Tianjin can't help but vent her frustration at Xinyu. She's annoyed by his reluctance to sign a contract with a different pen, as she believes all pens are the same. However, Xinyu remains stubborn, still refusing to sign the contract without his own pen. As they argue, another colleague arrives and presents Xinyu with his lost pen. To Tianjin's surprise, it's the same one she had given him 5 years earlier. She is shocked that he still has it and continues to use it. Later that night, the two reminisce about the memories they made together years ago. The next day, Tianjin is eating alone at a restaurant when someone unexpectedly greets her. She is surprised when she realizes that the person is none other than her old acquaintance, Chen. The two chat for a while, and Chen asks her if she is still in love with Xinyu. Tianjin changes the subject immediately, as she doesn't feel comfortable talking about her feelings. Meanwhile, Xinyu's former manager Mei is summoned to a meeting with her boss. The latter expresses his admiration for the way that Tianjin has been able to take over as Xinyu's agent and manager. However, Mei refuses to give her any credit, insisting that she was the one who shaped Xinyu's career and that Tianjin is simply continuing her one. Mei then drops a bombshell by revealing that she has discovered a new artist by the name of Gamon, who she plans to promote and market as a direct competitor to Xinyu. That afternoon, the boss holds a meeting with Mei, Gamon, Tianjin, and Xinyu. He then introduces the new artist to the attendees. After that, Mei mentions that a legendary producer named Sun is returned, and he is currently looking for a new artist to partner with on his album. Mei then confidently reveals that she has already signed Gamon to work with the producer. Even though Xinyu remains silent during the whole meeting, deep down, he also wants to work with the producer to boost his music career. Following the meeting, Tianjin immediately dials producer Sung's number to convince him to consider Xinyu for the partnership. However, he doesn't answer her call. As the days pass, the media starts to report Gamon as the new rising artist, due to which Xinyu feels threatened. Tianjin tells him to write a new song, but since he is too distracted by the newcomer, he fails. Later, she takes him to a local bar, hoping to find inspiration. There, Xinyu is just another patron among a crowd, and the atmosphere is laid back with live music playing. They join other patrons and enjoy the music by dancing and singing along. Shortly after, the band performing on the stage ends their show and calls for some crowd participation. Tianjin unexpectedly raises Xinyu's hand and forces him to play a song. After a bit of hesitation, he walks up to the stage and starts playing the piano. Surprisingly, the producer Sung is also present at the bar, and he is greatly impressed by Xinyu's performance. The following night, Tianjin joins her friends to celebrate a birthday. She gets so drunk that she sends Xinyu a message confessing that she still loves him. The next day, he confronts her about the message, but they don't have time to discuss it further, as he is scheduled to shoot his new music video. The video involves him filming in a hot air balloon. For some reason, Tianjin has a bad feeling about the balloon. Her intuition is eventually proven right when the rope suddenly unties, causing them to get stuck in the balloon for hours. When they finally land in the field, Tianjin explains to Xinyu why she dumped him. At the time, all his money was being spent on long-distance phone calls, and as a result, he couldn't save enough money to pay for his tuition. Tianjin couldn't see him suffer like this, so she broke up with him. Hearing all this, an emotional Xinyu asks if they can rekindle their relationship. Tianjin thinks for a while and says yes. Sometime later, Xinyu and Tianjin are thriving as artist and manager. One day, the couple goes on a special date at a luxurious hotel, and they decide to get intimate. Unfortunately, a paparazzi catches them in the act and takes a picture. When they find out about this, she approaches Tianjin and angrily berates her. Sadly, Tianjin is deeply affected by the humiliation and resigns from her job. Xinyu searches for her at her apartment, but only finds an old bracelet he had gifted her years ago and a painting of the both of them stargazing. Months later, after the release of Xinyu's album Missing You, which is dedicated to Tianjin, he is nominated for an award. In the next scene, we see Tianjin secretly attending the award ceremony and watching him from afar. To her surprise, Xinyu gives a speech and talks about her. He says that he doesn't know where she is or why she left him again, but he hopes that she will return. At the end of his speech, Xinyu announces a place to meet up with him, saying that she'll be there waiting for her. After that, he runs off to the place, and a sobbing Tianxin follows him. It turns out that the place is the same old spot in the park where they often met. The final scene in the movie shows Xinyu and Tianxin reuniting as they happily kiss each other.